Next up on the Cosmic News Network, First Contact with Joshua Pope.
Good morning, Earthlings. Good. How you doing today? Good. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Welcome to First Contact Radio. To talk about all these things I'm talking about is because in life, everything is energy. Every single thing that's out there.
Yo, it's First Contact with Joshua Pope. He's the man on the mic, just in case you didn't know it. Covering news from all around the globe, from the weather and space to UFOs. We'll talk politics and make you open your eyes. Conspiracy theories and government lies. We'll dig it all up and try to find the proof. Cause it's time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have arrived.
Demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have arrived.
Demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio.
It's time to demand
First
the
Contact
truth.
Radio. We have arrived. First Contact Radio.
It's time to demand the truth.
Good morning, Earthlings. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Glad you could be here. Hope your day is going well so far. So today is the 12th of August. We're moving right along. Let's look at where we're at. 12th of August, sun sign, Leo, moon sign, making a transition from Cancer to Leo. We went void, of course, at 12:44. Or will go void, of course, at 12:44 p.m., so that's afternoon. And we're going to stay that way for a couple hours till 3:52 p.m. when we will go into the sign of Leo. All right, so what we've got here is we're familiar with these symbols now. This is Leo. This is Leo. So, this is Cancer. Our sun sign currently is here. Our moon sign is here. This moon sign is going to go away, and it's going to be the moon sign of Leo. So we're going to have double Leo, double fire, lots of energy around us, lots of that raw animal energy that we're each dealing with that needs to be tamed. Okay, that's 3:52 p.m. Prior to that, we do have a trine between Saturn and Cancer, so we need to really look at our emotions, see how we're using them. It's a positive energy. Trines are positive energy, so the way in which we're using our energy and the lessons we learn and how to apply them are very positive. And then we make that transition 3:52, 8:11 p.m. We're back on the teeter-totter here, Mercury and Neptune. Let's take a look over here. Here's the Mercury. Here's Neptune. You see right across from each other. Okay. Mercury's over here in Virgo. Neptune's over here in Pisces. So things are opposite, so we can look at things from another perspective. We could look at things that are going to benefit us by looking that way. New perspective is what this is all about. So Mercury, our communication, wants to look at ways in which we can communicate different perspectives. And then at 9 o'clock p.m., Leo and the sign of Mars are going to be conjunct right down over, where are we at here? There's Mars and Leo right here. So they're right next to each other. They're going to have a conversation. Talk about what's going on. And when they get together, Mars is going to talk about all the energy and the fire it has, and Leo is going to talk about how proud he is to be a lion. And the two of them are going to work together and talk together, and hopefully they're going to make plans to create things rather than plans to go out and just be crazy and wild. Because being crazy and wild, as fun as it may be, doesn't really get things done when you're focused with that energy. Okay. 27 Av on the Jewish calendar, the year 5775. Daily thought for today is hiding destiny. How did he make a world? First he thought to himself, I desire light, I desire love, I desire acts of kindness and beauty, and he saw that this was good. Then he put aside that light, as a person who puts aside his dreams so that he can begin to work that will make them possible. So the Creator put aside the vision he first desired, and he made a world, as though that was the whole point, a world for the sake of being a world. Only much later in the story does someone hear a whisper Do you know the real purpose for which I have made this world? Now you know why reality is hard and love is soft, why apathy flows with ease while kindness must climb mountains, why light is always the intruder inside the boundless empire of darkness, and yet, in the end, light is the hidden destiny of all that is. Current moon phase is a waning moon, just about to that new moon, only 4% to go. Space weather, 434.5 kilometers seconds is our solar wind for today. Planetary K index is quiet between 1 and 3 coronal holes. We only have this one right here, so nothing to really be too overly concerned with. No notification that we're going to get hit by anything. M-class flares at a 25% chance. X-class is down to 5. Geomagnetic storm activity is pretty low as well, 10% in the mid-latitudes, 15% in the high latitudes. And in the sky tonight, we've got Mars to the left of the moon, Procyon down to the right. Just above it to the left, we have Castor and Pollux, the twins. The Perseid shower should be at the peak late tonight, ideally so far north of America, and there's no moonlight. Bundle up warmly because it gets cold under a clear, open August late night. Lie back in the reclining chair. You may see about a meteor and minute on average. The later you watch, the better. All right, there you go. That's our cosmic weather for today. UFO news is up next. Take it away, Dirk.
This is the UFO News with Joshua Poet.
All right, Dirk. Here we go. Red UFO caught on Space Station Live Cam. The red object passed the space station this week, and it was moving at an incredible speed. First, the object appears at a disk, but it's probably round. I believe because of the speed. The camera was slower and stretched the UFO out, making it long. Space station this year installed HD $7 million cameras to catch everything. Okay, there's our object in question. What is that? Don't know. All I know is it's there. Alright, let's move on to the next one. Cloud orb over London, England makes rare close appearance. It's not often that we see a cloud orb this close in such detail. Cloud orbs are white balls that sometimes turn metallic or blue when far from the cloud. They often are seen zipping in and out over the clouds. I believe they are monitoring and recording everything humanity broadcasts over the internet, TV, phones, and such. I believe cloud orbs are also capable of hearing our thoughts if we focus them in their direction. A few years back, I was watching the sky, my tripod facing a cloud above. My eyes were matching it. I tried to send greetings with my thoughts and projecting above. Then, just 3 meters away from the roof, I saw an orb. It sat there for about 3 seconds above edge of the roof, and I held my breath looking, trying to tell what it was. It really hit me, and I realized it was an orb. Flung the camera around, but it shot off 30 to 40 meters. Baseball size. All I got on the video was a white speck floating away. These things are intelligent and may be AI drones. AI for artificial intelligence. UFO footage of strange metallic orb filmed over Indonesia. There's our object in question. When you are into extraterrestrial issues, you have to begin by attempting to refute a particular UFO case. Of course, this scenario is to see if it holds water to identify whether or not it is a mistaken or genuine or just a hoax sighting. If you haven't studied the case well, it could be a simple airplane hovering in the sky, a silver painted or a weather balloon frisbee being tossed up for laughs. When there are reports of extraterrestrial sightings, people often hear reasonable explanations such as an experimental aircraft, lights on airplanes, weather balloons, hoaxes, optical illusions, swamp gas and imagination, and many more. Such ideas may either come from the media or by some infamous intelligence faction. Of course, exploring the most reasonable explanations is healthy, but if none of the general criteria can apply, you may just have a real alien spacecraft on your hands. One witness living in North Jakarta, Indonesia, has reported seeing a metallic orb hovering across the sky. The witness filed the Mutual UFO News Network database. According to the witness, he was staying in the outdoor basketball court together with his family at about 5:42 in the afternoon, July 17th, when he saw the orb flying at the height of about 500 meters northwest of the sky. Later on, it changed the course when it flew in the southwest direction before disappearing from sight. Even though the extraterrestrial vessels keep a constant speed of 50 meters per minute, it changed its shape. When it approached the witness, from an orb-like shape, it changed to squashed or flat vertically. The witness saw metallic luster that imitated the light of an evening sun. As the object moves closer, he observed it more closely, since he wanted to determine the nature of the object, and then he communicated MUFON. All right, here's a story that goes back to 1952. U.S. general says he witnessed a UFO just meters from his plane. This amazing sighting was not by an average Joe, but by U.S. General Johnson. He was piloting an aircraft at the time of his sighting. He said a UFO disc flew in front of him, holding position. Then the UFO split into two separate discs. One flew above him and the other flew below him. Now this is a distinguished pilot with a long career in the area. He is a hero, fighting for America. If we can't believe our heroes, then we are lost. This sighting shows that the disc appeared to allow the aircraft to move between them. This is probably the way some UFOs scan the aircraft, to record the military aircraft's design, armaments, and capabilities. Here's a video. I'm going to leave that for you of the interview. It is 5 minutes in length. And one last story here. It says, astronaut claims aliens have been concerned about nuclear war. Peace-loving aliens tried to save America from nuclear war, claims moon mission astronaut Edgar Mitchell. The sixth man to walk on the surface of the moon has made the astonishing claim that aliens came to Earth to stop a nuclear war between America and Russia. Edgar Mitchell, a veteran of the Apollo 14 mission in 1971, told Mirror Online the top-ranking military sources spotted UFOs during weapons tests. The astronaut has been outspoken about his belief in aliens ever since he landed on the surface of the moon, becoming one of the most prominent figures in the worldwide UFO community. He told U.S. military insiders that he had seen strange crafts flying over missile bases and the famous White Sands facility where the world's first ever nuclear bomb was detonated in 1945. Mitchell grew up in New Mexico, near both the bomb testing zone and Roswell, where he thinks one of the world's most famous UFO encounters took place. You don't know the area like I do, said an interview in the Mirror Online. White Sands is a testing ground for atomic weapons, and that's what the extraterrestrials were interested in. I wanted to hear about our military capabilities. My own experience talking to people has made it clear that ETs has been attempting to keep us from going to war and to help us create peace on Earth. Apollo 14 Captain Alan Bartlett, Edgar Mitchell's crewmate, stands on the moon. Mitchell also suggested he had heard similar stories from the people who manned missile bases during the most tense parts of the 20th century. I've spoken to many Air Force officers that have worked at these silos during the Cold War. They told me that UFOs were frequently seen overhead and often disabled their missiles. All right, there's more to the article here. Fascinating indeed. White Sands is very interesting. You know, I did have a interesting experience at White Sands on one of the trips out to Roswell. We had stopped off just to check out what was there, and I saw a man that was green. He only walked by for a minute. He was like a greenish gray color. The rest of the member of my traveling party did not see it for whatever reason, because I was pointing. Once I saw it, I said, look, there's a man, he's green. And I watched him, and they kept looking around. Where do you see him? Where do you see him? It said, it's right in front of us, look. And then he walked into a door, and nobody else saw him. But he was green. He was grayish green. Very weird, very bizarre, and he just walked right by front of the vehicle into the door, and there you have it. So, green men. But he wasn't like a little green man. No, he was just a normal-sized person. All right. All right. That is our UFO news. I'll be back. Stay tuned.
Come into our circle, Great Spirit. Fill our souls with peace.
Great Spirit, send down your love, send down your love, send down your love to us from above. Great Spirit, send down your love, send down your love, send down your love to us from above. Oh, 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 oh. Great Spirit, shine down your light, shine down your light, shine down your light to light our way. Great Spirit, shine down your light, shine down your light, shine down your light to light our way. Oh, 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 oh. Great Spirit, show us the way, show us the way, show us the way to live in peace every day. Great Spirit, show us the way, show us the way, show us the way to live in peace every day. Oh, 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 the wheel of life keeps rolling, rolling, rolling round and round, round and round. Nothing you can do will stop it, stop it. Nothing will slow it down. You gotta keep on going, going strong, going strong. You gotta keep believing and keep moving on. Oh, 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 oh. Great Spirit, send down your love, shine down your light, show us the way each and every day. Great Spirit, send down your love, shine down your light, show us the way each and every day. Oh, 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 oh,
All right. Great Spirit. Great Spirit, send down your love. That's what we need. Love, blessings, prayers. You know, we have lots of love. We have lots of blessings. We have lots of prayers. Just have to make use of the blessings that we have. Okie doke. Couple stories here before we get on to checking out the Dreamspell lesson for today. Scientists make a robot that can have babies. How about that? Everyone who thinks robots are going to take over the world might be about to get a lot more frightened. Scientists have created a machine that's able to have babies. In an experiment designed to show how robots can learn and evolve, researchers at Cambridge and Zurich programmed the robot arm or mother with an algorithm to create a device made out of blocks containing motors, its child. The blocks are assembled into a structure by the robot arm and the motors are turned on. The camera detects how far the blocks are able to travel. The robot arm sees this and then modifies the next baby to try to make it go further, learning from the mistakes of the good traits of the last one. This is all done without human interaction. The research was published in the journal PLOS 1. Louise Broderick, one of the researchers from the Institute of Robotics and Intelligent Systems at ETH Zurich, said the robots are normally programmed to do just one thing. Machines usually build the same thing and what it will do and will do over and over. What we did was use a genetic algorithm, so each operation is different. The scientist said the technology could be used in areas where robots need to carry out autonomous tasks, for example, in remote locations or even in disaster response. The experiment may seem like something out of a science fiction film, and technologists have expressed concerns about the future of robotics. Elon Musk and Bill Gates are two figures concerned about the rise of the artificial intelligence. Last month, a letter signed by figures including Musk and Stephen Hawking warned about the potential damage AI-controlled weapons could cause. But Broderick said the fear about this may be overblown. I think it makes sense to think about this, but I personally am not afraid that robots will take over the world. All right. Quite ironic that Bill Gates is one of those concerned. You've heard about the Windows 10 operating system? Well, all I could say is stay away, stay away. Why is that? Well, there's a lot of tech reports about what Windows 10 is about, and there seems to be some really suspicious activities within the software itself, within the coding itself. There seems to be Wi-Fi that needs to be turned off that automatically is turned on when you put it in. There seems to be a recording of your key strokes. Seems to be some potential data mining, and even in their own privacy documents and agreements, there seems to be language in there that suggests that your personal data could be sent to somebody else per the discretion of those at Microsoft or those collecting the data. So there's a lot of weird things. And then if you notice the commercial that's out and they say, you know, how the kids aren't going to have to use any passwords, they're going to log on with a smile. You know what that is? It's called facial recognition software. And when they said your kids are going to touch the internet, well, is that potentially, you know, fingerprint technology where you got to have that? Handprints on it? We see these things in the movie. We understand things are going in that direction. But nonetheless, things are already here, and there are some concerns. And this Windows 10 operating system has a lot of holes from what I'm reading. I do a lot of tech work, so it is certainly an area that I am paying attention to, and the techies are out in the world and investigating this, saying, be careful, move at your own risk. So if you get Windows 10, just be careful. Pay attention to what you're downloading, your uploads, downloads, all that. Or, better yet, just don't even get it. There's operating systems out there really good. If you want a good operating system, Ubuntu. It's one of the systems I use. I use Windows only on programs that I need to use Windows with, but 90% of the time I'm on Ubuntu. It's a free operating system, has all the tools you need to do your work, and it's much different than the Windows system. All right, today I thought I would play a message from Brother Nathaniel. We haven't heard from him in a while, so I thought today would be a good day for that. This is Brother Nathaniel, Thought Police, Prison Without Bars.
The last stronghold protecting our privacy is under attack. FBI Director James Comey is opposing the use of encryption to protect personal data, and he's using all his charm to get it.
Technology has moved to a place where encryption, which was always available over the last 20 years, has become the default. And that change has been accompanied by an explosion in apps that ride on the internet and offer end-to-end encrypted communication. The challenge to us is ISIL will find the live ones on Twitter, and then we can see them say, okay, here is my encrypted end-to-end mobile messaging app contact information, contact me there. And so our task to find needles in a nationwide haystack becomes complicated by the fact that the needle at that moment goes invisible, right? I know I'm giving information to bad people. We cannot break strong encryption, right? I think people watch TV and think the Bureau can do lots of things. We cannot break strong encryption. So even if I get a court order under the Fourth Amendment to intercept that communication as it travels over the wires, I will get gobbledygook. That needle will remain dark to me. That is a big, big problem for us.
It's an even bigger problem for we, the people. What's riding here is giving Big Brother unobstructed access to our emails, our texts, and all digital data. Jay Johnson of Homeland Security, former partner of the Jewish law firm Paul, Weiss and Rifkin, wants to do just that, using his Jewish-taught talents as Pentagon's chief attorney. Johnson provided the framework for military tribunals to try citizens suspected of subversive activities without due process. Now he's after the lone wolf. It could be anyone, even you.
We face threats from those who self-radicalize to violence, the so-called lone wolf, who did not train at an Al-Qaeda camp or overseas or became part of an enemy force, but who may be inspired by radical violent ideology to do harm to Americans. In many respects, this is the terrorist threat to the homeland.
Rooting out the lone wolves is watchdog for DHS, the Jewish-run SPLC, which marks Christian organizations opposing same-sex marriages as hate groups. You see, the government only supports the rights of groups that pose no threat to its power. Flying the Confederate flag is forbidden, but billboards advertising prostitutes and pornography are legal. The structure of censorship and totalitarian rule are being built under the guise of equal rights, while freedom of thought is under attack. Enter artificial intelligence. Now, we all know the NSA archives all communications, but there's not enough functionaries to keep track of us all. So the state is at work creating artificial intelligence that will process the data and make an instant judgment on a person's threat to the government. Those threats will be dealt with digitally. Your cell phone will stop working, your car won't drive, and your medical services will be cut off. If you don't repent, your bank account, assets, and property will be seized. You're not only on a no-fly list, you're now on a no-hire list. It's a prison without bars. Going off the grid will be illegal. In some states, it already is. You'll be hunted down like a wild animal. The only way out is submitting to a re-education program. And there will be plenty of FEMA camps for that.
All right. So, very interesting. You know what was interesting about what he said there? When he was talking about the encryption, and they were talking about having issues with the encryption, and ISIS or ISIL is sending things back and forth. All a bunch of hogwash. Hogwash. I'm going to show you something. We're going to do this live right here. Live in living color. Okay, I'm going to go to Google. Here's Google right here. Okay, in Google, we are going to type in ISIS, ISIS, public HQ. Okay, hit enter. There we go. Home, ISIS, HQ. Click on that. ISIS headquarters is located at the heart of the Sierra Vista, Arizona, just outside the gates of Fort Huachuca, home of the United States Army Intelligence Center and the U.S. Army Network Enterprise Technology Command. ISIS resides in 3 suites within the Aztec building across from the Sierra Vista Mall. STEQ is the main entrance and visitor sign. Okay? If we click here, it says About ISIS. Overview. ISIS, they just call it CIS now, but ISIS, it's an intelligence network. It says ISIS is headquartered outside Fort Huachuca in Sierra Vista, Arizona. Our Washington, D.C. office is located in the Ronald Reagan Building. We are dedicated to supporting our national defense and security departments as well as government contractors and private businesses with mission-critical services performed by highly skilled experts in their fields. ISIS professionals can be found working side by side with United States Armed Forces, U.S. government, and prime contractors on the ground in such strategic environments as the Middle East. See your locations map at the bottom of the page. Okay? See all these places? This is the international presence for ISIS. Abu Dhabi, Afghanistan, Central America, Dubai, Iraq, Kuwait, Uganda, Saudi Arabia, Philippines, Mexico. Let's ask ourselves this simple question. In any of those places that I just mentioned where there's an international presence, have we heard that ISIS is in that region causing problems? Yes, we have. So what's going on, my friends, is that we are being duped. ISIS is an intelligence operation, period. There are people out there that are running crazy out in the world. Absolutely are. Why? Because they have been encouraged by those members of these intelligence organizations to do so. So you have radicals and extreme individuals running crazy because somebody encouraged them that was okay. Somebody that's part of an intelligence network. So when we hear a gentleman, as we just heard on the last clip of Brother Nathaniel's, talking about how they were concerned about the encryption techniques of ISIS or ISIL, it's kind of laughable because the encryption techniques are the encryption techniques of their intelligence experts at their intelligence centers in Fort Huachuca and Washington, D.C. If we really understand this, we understand that it's just another example of how Americans are being played. So as they keep talking about ISIS, know that it's an intelligence operation. Please share this with your friends, your family, anyone who will listen. Because when they understand what ISIS really is, they will help others to understand what ISIS isn't. You've never heard the mainstream media talk about this. They never point you to this website. I've done it on numerous occasions, and now today, you've got the direct link yet again. So there you have it. All right, let's move on to our lesson here, number 4 of the Dreamspell. Lesson 4. The 260-day Zolkin, which is the entire grid. Let's backtrack here. This is the Zolkin. 260 because we have 13 columns, 20 rows. 13 times 20 is 260. So we have a grid of 260. So the 260-day Zolkin fits perfectly with and runs alongside the current 365-day solar calendar. The two cycles combined, 260 and 365, create the 13-moon calendar or the synchrometer. The 13-moon, 28-day system embraces and synchronizes all true calendrical and mathematical systems, from the Mayan long count to the Elder Furthok runes to the I Ching hexagrams. In other words, the system reveals a master matrix which contains and unifies all other systems. By attuning to the matrix of 13 months and 28 days per month, our mind begins to reorganize and open to new perceptions. Every 52 years, the 260-day Zolkin count and the Earth's 365-day solar count sync back up. So if you are a white planetary mirror born in 1970, 52 years later, in 2022, will also be white planetary mirror. A calendar we typically follow, called the Gregorian calendar, has a time warp or distortion matrix. Of the calendars used by humans, this 13-moon natural time synchrometer is the only calendar that takes into account the unity of planetary and galactic time. Okay, so here we have the standard calendar, the Gregorian calendar, but here we have the calendar that's equal. It's a different system, and there's one extra month hidden in here just by taking out the extra days. So we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can count all the extra days over 28. This calendar is actually synctrometer. It is a unique device coded by galactic language that enters into a mythical and archetypal realms of thought. As we tune into its life cycles, we extend our consciousness beyond any notion of third dimension as being the only reality. The 365-day orbit of Earth around the Sun naturally divides into 13 28-day sequences. 13 times 28, which equals 364, and it corresponds to the 13 lunations occurring during one solar year plus one extra day, July 25th, which is called the Day Out of Time, a day to practice art. Time is art and peace through culture. It is the first galactic holiday celebrated. Observe the graphic of the 12-month calendar, the next 13 moon. Count the days beyond the 28th, and you'll find that they add up. Okay? Let's jump ahead to this one here as well. That was kind of a review. This is new here. Today we begin a new wave spell as the mirror wave spell of endlessness. This is the key time of study and reflection. Before we delve into the meaning of this wave spell, it's important to become familiar with the 13 galactic tones. The 13 tones coordinate the 20 seals of movement of space in time to create a pattern of 260 different galactic signatures. 13 times 20 equals 260. Study the essence, the power, and the action of the 13 tones just as you did with the solar seals. Okay, and what we're looking at here is a wave spell. A wave spell, we've got these 13 tones here, okay? 13 tones: magnetic, lunar, electric, self-existing, overtone, rhythmic, resonant, galactic, solar, planetary, spectral, crystal, and cosmic. If you take away these names and just look at them as numbers 1 through 13 from a numerological standpoint, they have the same meanings. Here you can study the essence, the power, the action of each one of these numbers, and the way they organize themselves throughout this system is in this pattern here. It's called a wave spell. Pattern of 13 days, 13 tones. And there are 20 of these wave spells that make up this grid right here. Okay? So you count 1 through 13, 1 through 13, 1 through 13, 20 times throughout here. And each one of these has a shape like this. Okay? And so, for example, it says, let's study the mirror wave spell. So a wave spell is always determined by what is the very first symbol. So in this case, it's going to be the mirror. So the wave spell of the mirror is saying that whatever this is, the mirror, which reflects our purpose, is going to be the overriding idea of this entire 13-day period of time. And all of these other symbols here are helping to support what's going on with that reflection. So we have the storm stabilizes, the sun activates, the dragon defines form, the wind empowers, it's organized by the night, mystically attuned by the seed, harmonized by the serpent, realized by the world bridger, manifest by the hand avatar, dissolved by the star, universalized by the moon, and cosmically sealed by the dog or love. Okay? So we're going to leave it at that because that's plenty for you to work on and figure out. Just get familiar with these here now today, the tones. And tomorrow we'll move on to putting a little bit more of this together. So you have a lot of information. You have the solar seals, you have the tones, you have the Zolkin to know what the grid looks like. So all the pieces of this are coming together. But it's important that you know each and every one of the aspects of it because it helps you in understanding the whole thing. Okay? So every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. Here's an article over at In5D. It's called 10 Key Steps to Manifesting Your Reality. Okay. This is by James Twyman. You can attract anything and everything you want in your life. How many times have we talked about all the things we believe or want? But deep down, we are unwilling to integrate the qualities that would attract them. Words mean very little if our lives don't reflect what we say. Have you ever met people who said all the right things, but when you were there with them, something didn't feel right? It's as if there's a radar detector within us that feels what our minds alone can't sense. On the other hand, have you ever been with those who said very little, but you yourself inexplicably are happy when you're in their presence? These are the ones who have perfected the art of being, the essential ingredient to attracting everything you could ever desire. The following 10 keys are guidelines. Read them and find ways to integrate them into your own life. You notice that each one starts with the word be. For example, be clear. That's because they're focused less on what you need to do and more on what you need to be. So I'm just going to go over the 10 points. I'm going to leave all the details for you to dig into here. First one is be clear. Next one is to be open. Next is to be willing. Next is to be happy. Next, to be focused. Next, to be expectant. 7, be energetic. 8, be positive. 9, be true. And 10, be grateful. Gratitude is perhaps the most important key to attracting everything you deserve. It's the activating force that God can't deny, and the universe bows to a heart filled with divine appreciation. When someone is grateful for a gift you've offered or a small act of kindness you've shown, it makes you want to give even more. The universe works in a similar way, so be grateful for every gift from God, no matter how small. Very good advice. Yes, gratitude is very, very important. When we're grateful for something, good things happen. More good things continue to happen. And we see it in our lives. When you do something nice for others and they're not grateful for it, we all know what that feels like. We all know what it feels like when somebody's grateful for things that we do. We don't have to go out and, make a big deal about it. We know quietly whether we're grateful or whether not, or someone's treating us gratefully or not, with appreciation. And we can use these as ways of looking at the world. Appreciation, just think of the word. To appreciate means to gain more of. So if we appreciate ourselves and we're just thinking of energy, we're appreciating, we're gathering more to ourselves because we're appreciating. We're appreciating our goodness. We're appreciating our love. We're appreciating our blessings. That means we're growing them richer and richer. It's in the mind. It's all one big mind. So it's very important that we focus our minds. All right, we have a message here now. This is from the Elohim.
The Elohim. Your magnificent energy work.
August 10th, 2015. By Carla Thompson.
The Garden of Eden is charged with a spectacular golden light and a life stream of infinite beauty, and perfection flows like the gentle waterfall, as all expressions move together into one united field. From here on, life blossoms outward like the lotus flower, that explodes in a never-ending bloom. Indeed, here we speak of the Golden Template, a sacred dodecahedron which graces all aspects of creative design in the perpetuity of time. We are the Elohim, and we know of your desire to understand your value and the nature of your involvement in the expansion in this moment. You are the all-beings, the beings of the earth that move great multitudes of energy forth, from within the inner space to the outer space, and through all quantum levels of space, as your multidimensional vehicles serve to anchor and stabilize the nature of form within your seen and unseen reality. Your souls operate on a multitude of levels, as you are living in multiple dimensional expressions. Some of you are aware of another time and place where great energy flows, and this new golden template moves through your current physical vessels, and into these new coordinates. From your third dimensional perspective, you may be unaware that you are guiding creation in all other dimensions. These dimensions each reflect not only the constancy of unconditional loving kindness and acceptance of all, but also many other necessary qualities that you are unfamiliar with, including the constancy of energy you sustain, for example. The one founding principle common to each and every one of these expressions is that of unconditional loving kindness and acceptance of everything as being part of the all. As you focus on expanding your capacity for love, either in the giving or in the receiving of love here in this reality, You are therefore necessarily flooding all of creation with these thoughts and with these energies. Even one quantum of love ripples itself out into and throughout creation. To say a large flood of energy will come on a specified date is truth, only because waves of great import are coming every day and not because it has simply been stated as being so. Energy is everywhere, indeed, everything is constituent energy. Those of you who are able to sense the flow of energy throughout the cosmos have developed finely tuned energetic vehicles, as they were meant to be. Your human vehicles are designed to be receivers as well as transmitters of energies. As your electromagnetic fields become refined through the conscious application of principles of physical detoxification, your bodies and your fields will naturally expand in amplitude, and therefore inclusion in the activity of the ascension. However, even those who are unaware of the ascension aid in its realization, as the increased light instantly removes areas of blocked and heavy energetic backflow. Every individual who has an intact body-mind-soul standard is affected by the high-frequency photon light bombarding your Earth at this moment, and this of course excludes those who have no soul at present. As receivers, you filter these energies and recycle them out and transmit them to the masses after their refinement, for their integration and revision. The revision is a natural process, whereby those whose bodies repel these energies as too much of an energetic challenge and overload will recalibrate naturally to accept a homeopathic dosage of energies needed to expand the level of consciousness of the individual. The expanded consciousness then automatically and naturally allows more photon light into the body-mind-soul system, opening him up to the possibility of moving to another newly expanded reality. This whole process feels slow to you by your standards. However, in reality it happens instantly. In every instant, there is energetic upliftment, and this can be measured, as each human vehicle can hold the light in greater and greater amounts. This is the ongoing nature of the ascension, and as you hold the highest love and light for your own personal experience, you immediately move to the highest expression of your reality within your grasp. Do this daily and your reality shall reflect more grace, more peace, and serenity, upon which more joy shall grow. Never give up this activity, it is the ascension. We are by your side, lovingly encouraging you in your continuing quest to find your most brilliant reality.
Very nice, good message. They all seem to be very similar, don't they? Telling us about our energy, how we change, the world of possibilities before us. When we hear the same thing over and over, kind of gives us a clue that maybe we should be following those things, right? All right, the message from the Warrior of Lights, page 83. At the beginning of his struggle, the Warrior of Light has stated, "I have dreams." After some years, he realizes that it is actually possible to reach his goal. He knows that he will be rewarded. At that moment, he feels sad. He knows about other people's unhappiness, about the loneliness and frustration experienced by a large section of humanity, and he does not believe that he deserves what he is about to receive. His angel whispers, "Give it all up." The warrior kneels down and offers God his conquests. This act of surrender forces the warrior to stop asking foolish questions and helps him to overcome his feelings of guilt. Let's go ahead and close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And exhale. Take another deep breath. And exhale again. Another deep breath. And exhale. And as you continue to breathe in and out, just imagine your body feeling more and more relaxed with each and every breath. Imagine this breath going through your body and bringing clarity of thought. And as you feel clear in thought, you're able to look at the world from a new perspective, a perspective of clarity. And as you look around the world, you see the problems that exist, and you also see the good things that are taking place. and you realize that these things are happening simultaneously, and that we have the opportunity each and every moment to focus on the good or focus on the bad. Focus on what is being rebuilt or focus on what is being broken down. The choice each and every moment is ours. So let's focus on the positive. Let's focus on that which is being built. And as we do focus our energy on the positive change, we feel ourselves changing and evolving. We take a moment to give appreciation to God, Mother and Father of us all. We appreciate the energy that we are given each and every day. We appreciate the choices and opportunities we have before us. And we appreciate the blessings that exist in all of our lives. And we pray that we use our wisdom to understand even better how to use these gifts that we have been given to benefit ourselves and all of humanity. So let's just imagine this world, this earth, as a place cleansed of all of the problems. And let's imagine all of the people upon this planet living in harmony, living in peace. And let's just hold that thought in our mind's eye as we go about today, thinking of this world as a place of peace and harmony. And let's bring our conscious mind back to the present moment on the count of 3. 3, coming back to the present moment filled with confidence. 2, coming back to the present moment filled with faith. And 1, coming back to the present moment happy, healthy, and whole. Happy, healthy, and whole. Take another deep breath. Exhale. And open your eyes. That's it, my friends. That's our show for today. Thank you so much for being here. I'm glad to be here myself. I enjoy doing this show and sharing the information, and equally as much I enjoy getting responses back from you on what you think and what subjects you would like me to talk about. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Keep those comments, keep those emails coming. Have an awesome day. Remember, we're the ones we've been waiting for. All we have to do is stand up and allow the gifts that we've been given to shine brightly. And when we do, the world will change. Just imagine, all around the world, people using their gifts to create positivity. That'd be awesome. We're on the brink of that, my friends. We just have to keep pushing and staying strong and staying faithful. Do not be deceived during these times. Be clear and be focused. All right, I'll be back tomorrow. Till then, have an awesome day. I love you. Keep loving each other, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace. I'm out of here.